Welcome back to Auto Rev Now, your ultimate destination for everything fast, bold, and automotive. Some vehicles are designed to dominate headlines with extreme numbers and exaggerated styling, while others leave their mark through balance, elegance, and emotional presence. The 2025 Aston Martin Vantage belongs firmly in the second category. Though it carries enough performance to stand alongside the most serious machines on the road today, from the very first glance, it feels unmistakably intentional, shaped not merely to attract attention, but to create atmosphere. There is tension in the design, confidence in the proportions, and a sense of heritage woven into every line. This is not a car trying to imitate aggression. It is a performance machine that naturally radiates it. As the camera slowly circles the exterior, the details begin to reveal the philosophy behind the design. The wider stance immediately changes the character of the vehicle, giving it a more planted and muscular appearance without sacrificing the elegance that defines Aston Martin's identity. The enlarged front grille creates a stronger visual impact, while the sculpted bodywork guides light across the surface in a way that feels cinematic from every angle. Even standing still, this machine carries motion within its silhouette, as though every curve has been shaped by speed itself. It's the kind of design that rewards patience, where the more time you spend observing it, the more cohesive and purposeful it becomes. What makes the 2025 Aston Martin Vantage particularly compelling is how naturally it blends modern aggression with timeless sophistication. Many contemporary performance cars lean heavily into sharp edges and excessive aerodynamic theatrics, but this masterpiece approaches performance differently. Its surfaces remain fluid and refined, preserving the beauty expected from a grand touring icon, while still communicating serious capability. There is confidence in restraint here, an understanding that true design maturity comes not from excess, but from precision. Every intake, contour, and proportion feels connected to the larger identity of the vehicle, rather than added simply for visual drama. Inside the cabin, the experience shifts from exterior presence to immersive craftsmanship, where the environment feels tailored around the driver in a way that immediately creates connection. The cockpit is modern without becoming sterile, luxurious without losing focus, and technological without overwhelming the senses. Materials feel authentic and tactile, from the stitched surfaces to the metallic accents that catch ambient light during nighttime sequences. This vehicle understands that luxury is not only about visual quality, but about atmosphere, about how the space makes you feel during every moment behind the wheel. As cinematic shots transition through dimly lit streets and reflections glide across the dashboard, the cabin takes on an entirely different personality after dark. Soft ambient lighting adds depth to the interior architecture, highlighting textures and surfaces in subtle ways that enhance the emotional tone of the experience. There's a calm sophistication here that contrasts beautifully with the performance waiting beneath the surface. This machine doesn't rely on excessive screens or dramatic visual effects to create excitement. Instead, it builds emotion through balance, through the relationship between driver, machine, and environment. When the engine finally comes to life, the personality of the 2025 Aston Martin Vantage becomes unmistakably clear. The sound is deep, controlled, and rich with character, delivering the kind of presence that immediately transforms the atmosphere around the car. Acceleration feels urgent yet composed, with power arriving smoothly and confidently rather than violently. This performance icon is not interested in overwhelming the driver with chaos. Instead, it delivers speed with clarity and precision, creating a driving experience that feels engaging rather than intimidating. The connection between throttle input and vehicle response feels immediate, reinforcing the sensation that every aspect of the machine has been carefully calibrated. On open roads, the balance of this masterpiece becomes even more apparent. The steering communicates with precision, allowing the driver to feel connected without unnecessary harshness, while the chassis maintains composure through sweeping corners and uneven pavement alike. There is an effortlessness to the way this vehicle moves, a fluidity that transforms ordinary roads into something cinematic. It feels equally comfortable cruising through quiet city streets as it does attacking winding back roads under fading evening light. That adaptability is part of what makes the experience feel so complete, because the car never loses its identity regardless of the environment surrounding it. Night driving sequences reveal another dimension entirely, where reflections from streetlights slide across the bodywork and shadows emphasize the car's sculpted proportions. Under neon glow and wet pavement reflections, the vehicle almost appears alive, transforming urban roads into scenes from a premium automotive film. The sound echoes differently in empty streets, becoming part of the cinematic atmosphere rather than simply background noise. This is where the emotional side of the machine becomes impossible to ignore, because every visual and mechanical element works together to create an experience that feels immersive rather than performative. What truly separates the Twinthas 25 Aston Martin Vantage from many modern performance vehicles is the emotional consistency it maintains throughout every aspect of the experience. Some cars excel visually, but feel disconnected dynamically, while others deliver performance without personality. This machine feels cohesive, as though design, engineering, sound, and atmosphere were developed together rather than separately. The result is a vehicle that doesn't simply impress for a few moments, but continues to resonate the longer you spend with it. Every drive reveals another layer, another detail, another reminder that this performance icon was built with emotion in mind, rather than statistics alone. There's also something timeless about the way this vehicle carries itself. Even surrounded by increasingly futuristic automotive trends, it remains grounded in classic sports car principles. Long hood proportions, driver-focused dynamics, and elegant surface design. Yet it never feels outdated or nostalgic. Instead, it feels like an evolution of those ideas, refined for a modern era without losing the soul that made them special in the first place. That balance between heritage and innovation is incredibly difficult to achieve, but this masterpiece manages it with remarkable confidence. Perhaps that is why the 2025 Aston Martin Vantage feels so cinematic by nature. It isn't simply fast, luxurious, or visually striking. It creates mood. It transforms ordinary driving scenes into moments that feel elevated, emotional, and memorable. Whether viewed under golden sunset light or disappearing into the darkness of an empty highway, the vehicle consistently projects a sense of identity that goes beyond performance figures. It reminds us that great automotive design is not only about engineering capability, but about storytelling, about how a machine can shape emotion through movement, sound, and presence. And as the final road sequence fades into the distance, the lasting impression becomes impossible to ignore. The 2025 Aston Martin Vantage represents far more than a modern sports car. It stands as a reminder that refinement and aggression do not have to compete, that luxury and driver engagement can coexist naturally, and that true automotive passion still thrives in machines built with soul. This vehicle doesn't chase attention through excess. It earns admiration through confidence, craftsmanship, and emotional depth. In a world increasingly obsessed with extremes, that sense of balance may be its greatest strength of all. This is Auto Rev Now, where horsepower meets passion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next review.